Hello and welcome to CAD Studio. Today we're making a new folio. It's a mini folio, so it's going to be 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 inches by 1 inch thick, or maybe a slightly bit bigger than that. So what you're going to need for supplies for that will be some glue, a corner rounder, which is optional, a paper trimmer, and I have the Cricut paper trimmer, and some pattern paper for sure, a scoreboard, excuse me, and some 110-pound cardstock, 3 sheets of that, and 65-pound cardstock. And I think we probably need, let's say, 6 or so pieces of that, 65-pound. And I'm using white cardstock for the base and for the waterfalls. And then for your mats, you'll use your pattern paper and some colored cardstock at 65-pound. That's what I use. Okay, so let's get started with some measurements here. And this, what I'm using here is Echo Park. It's called I Love Family. It has some really pretty papers in here and some really cool stickers, so that'll be fun to decorate with later on. All right, so let's see what we have here. I picked my pattern papers out, and what I've done is I've gone to my paper trimmer with a 12 by 12 sheet, and I cut at 6 inches, and then I turn it and cut it 6 inches again. So that gives me 4 out of 1 sheet, 4 pieces of pattern paper for my covers and whatnot. All right, so I wrote myself a little note here that I need at least 9 6 by 6 mats for the base of the folio. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what we have to start with. We're going to start with the 110-pound cardstock, and I use an 8 1/2 by 11 inch piece, and I put it in my paper trimmer. And I do 1 sheet at a time because this 110-pound is pretty thick. I can't cut more than 1. So what I do is I put it in here, and I put a piece of, you could put tape. I use the dimensional tape. It's double-sided, but I only take the paper off at one side and stick it down at 6 1/4 inches so that I get all my pieces cut at 6 1/4 inches, my 3. So you need to cut 3 of those, and then we'll take those over to the scoreboard. And we're going to start scoring. Excuse me again. So lay your cardstock in on the long side. Your 11-inch side goes across the top. We're going to score at 6 1/4 and 7 1/4. Same measurements for the second piece, 6 1/4, 7 1/4, and for the third piece, we score at, same way, 6 1/4. We save that last score line for once we put the book together with all the pattern paper, etc., so that we won't make it too skinny. That has happened to me on occasion. So here's your little note for what we need. 3 pieces cut at 6 1/4 by 11, and then score at 6 1/4 and 7 1/4, 2 sheets, and the third sheet at 6 1/4. Let's move on to the waterfall. So for the waterfall, you need 12 pieces. Yep, that's right, 12 pieces at 5 1/2 by 6 1/2, and you can very well get, if you lay your paper in this way in your paper trimmer, cut it at 5 1/2, you'll get 2 pieces out of each sheet. And then you're going to turn it and cut it at 6 1/2 inches. So 12 of those, 12 5 1/2 by 6 1/2. And then we're going to take those to the scoreboard. I'm only going to do 1 section. So you're going to take your 12, divide that into 3 sections. So you're going to have 4 in each section. So 4 waterfall pieces. So we're making 3 waterfalls today. So what you want to do is take that to the 6 1/2 side, score them all at 1/2 inch, all of them on the same side. All of them will get scored the same. And then you're gonna take those and fold and crease everything. I usually fold and crease everything at the same time. Just let me show you a little trick here for these. To speed things up, I just fold, fold, fold one section at a time. So that would be 4 pieces at a time. I just fold it by hand. Then I lay it down, all folded, hopefully, and just score all 4 at the same time. So I'm not going 12 times. So that section is ready. And then, so do all your sections for each waterfall section. And then you're gonna cut 3 backing pieces at 5.5 by 6 inches, because once you've folded this over, that's what your measurements are, 5.5 by 6 inches. And that will go back here. We'll glue everything straight down to that. All right, so let's fold and crease our base. And how you do that is towards, okay, you scored it this way, then you're going to turn it over and do your folds and fold and crease. And let me move the scoreboard. So I hope that was clear with the waterfall, those 12 pieces that you do. And I'll show you in the book. I have a prototype over here. I'll show you how that goes. After we do some folding here, just make sure you're, even here and here, because sometimes you might put your paper in the scoreboard. It might not be in perfectly straight, but you definitely want these to be folded right. Okay, that's 2. And the 3rd piece with the 1 score line. There we go. All right. So here's my prototype over here. So I'm going to show you how the waterfalls go in. And I made a little note over here so I didn't forget. But once you get your waterfall put together, which we'll do in a second, you're going to put 1 here, notebook style. You're going to turn so that your folds are, and you're not gluing them, they're all glued together at this point when you start gluing them in the book. I'll show you all that. But one's going to go this way and one's going to go this way. Okay, hope that's clear enough for y'all. All right, let's get rid of this prototype here and start gluing. Let's glue the base first. So the base gets glued with all the big sides on the left. So you put this tab here, it's pretty darn big. It's probably about 3 inches or so. We're gonna glue. We need to fix that glue a little bit, don't we? All right. Glue that tab. And then we're going to lay in the next piece, which is the, still has the gusset on that one. So both of these have the 1-inch gusset, or spine, if you will. And then we straighten that up, give it a little tap here, and then give it a good press. Front and back. And take your 3rd piece. This is pretty quick to put together once you get everything cut. A little trouble with that again. Let's see if I can fix it. Glue that tab in. Right up to that score line, that first score line, you come to going towards your left. You pop this in there right up to the score line again. And always make sure that you can close your book. There's a 90-degree angle here when you lift that. If you're in the score line, it's not going to work out so well. All right, let's give that a press. Flip it over, put a press there, and set that off to the side. and we'll put together our waterfall. And I used my scoreboard for that. Take your 4 pieces at a time. You're going to do one. You're going to do one waterfall at a time. So we're making 3 of these, but I'm only going to do one on camera. So glue this tab. Your 1/2 inch that you fold it over, and lay this in so that it's going to be in the right direction, which I put it in backwards yesterday. And lean this up against the edge. And if you find that you're off a bit at one end, it may be that I didn't cut the base correctly, which I'm going to have to go and take a little peek at when I get finished. Okay, press that in. Actually, I'm going to bring that trimmer over. Trim that piece up a little bit because that's bothering me just a pinch. Yeah, that bottom is a little off. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better, although I think I put that in crooked. And if once you're finished putting this together and it's off, go over to your big trimmer and give it a slice. All right, next sheet goes in on top of that one. It's a very simple put together waterfall. Clean that up here. Make sure you're square down here, which I want to give it a zhuzh towards the corner. Press that in. Lift that, press it, and watch out for glue squirting out because it may stick together once it sits for a little bit. Next piece, so we're gluing down 4 pieces onto the base. Pop that in there, even it up, press it in. It's always a good idea to let these pieces dry before you start decorating so you don't lift things up by accident. And the last piece, I don't know, it's too tall. There we go. Press that in, and there's your waterfall. All right, and like I said, we're going to put that into the book. Now that we've built our base, go ahead and put in your 3 waterfalls. And today, right this minute, I'm only going to put one end. And so the base I marked with the letter B, so that gets glued down to the bottom of the book. So here we are with our prototype. Let me show you that again, how they get glued in, so that you open this up this way. This one opens book style, and this one opens up notebook style. You could put them in all the same if you so choose, or you can put them in this way or whatever you like. But I'm just going to show you how you're going to put that down. So the base is, again, this piece. We'll glue that base, whole back of it. With a good amount of glue across that top edge. And that's why I say we need to let things dry, because that won't dry back quickly. So you're going to go to the first section, and like I said, I put mine in notebook style. So we center from the edge here to the first score line you come to on your right, and press that in. Whoops, straight. Press it down, lift your pages, and then press it in really well. This is where you might want some tissue, because yeah, you might get a little bit of excess glue here and there. And then I give a good press across the top, and then I probably would let this dry for like an hour at least before I start to decorate. And then put your next waterfall in and the last waterfall in. And then we'll worry about this last score line later on after we decorate our folio. Okay, so here we have it. Let's say this is what yours will look like now. Well, sorry, I have a score line down here, but it shouldn't be there yet. I'm not sure why I put it there. So let's have a look at our pattern paper now that we chose, and I'm going to do the gluing off camera, but I'm just going to show you how this works. So I would choose whatever colors I'm just going to randomly pick. This is my cover. Okay, so I'm on a plain, sort of a plain piece. So these are all 6 by 6, and they fit between your 1-inch gussets. And let's go with the trees over here. So this is the front cover. I want it a little plain so I can put some cool stickers on. And then this one will go here. So then on the inside, I will put, see if I can zhuzh this around. I just want to put it back there so I remember. So on the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the pages up. Once they're dry. And put in, let's go with this one. And that one still fits 6 by 6 pieces that I've cut prior to putting this together. And then, so this one will fit. And if you feel like, okay, so I have an 1/8 of an inch border around the piece here. It's a little short, or it's a little long. So I might trim that. I might just leave it. I think it looks kind of cool like that because it peeks out over here. And then my last piece, I'll put in, what do you like? Gold? Why not? And again, that one is probably a little long for this section. I might trim that, I'm not sure. Just, you know, eyeball it, pop it in there with some glue. I glue the whole backs of the pieces and lay them in. And kind of wiggle it if you need to. So then your mats for all your waterfall pages will be 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I've gone ahead and cut those. And for the insides, I'm going to cut, what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to cut these to that side. Well, let me do one with you. We'll do one together. Then I'm going to put, oops, on the front of, let's see, which one for that one? The flowers? We haven't used yet. So let's do that one. Pop it in here and cut it at 5 1/4 by 5, so it's 5 1/4 this way. So if your paper jurisdiction of your pattern is this way, you want to make sure that 5 1/4 is cut that way. But this one doesn't matter. So 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. And that will go right on top here with an 1/8 inch border. Oops, can you see that? With an 1/8 inch border around the whole piece. I'll do the covers with my pattern paper, and then inside I will most likely put, maybe not this color, but I will put 65-pound cardstock inside. Just trying to save, you know, money and supplies. So, and besides, you're going to put a photo on there. You're going to go and put, let's see, well, I don't have one, but you're going to put photos here. It's going to cover this up, and then your stickers and things like that. So, you know, let's say this is what you were going to use over here for a photo. It's too big. You could put a mat behind it. I mean, let's say you cut it right, which I didn't. Let's say, oh, yes, I did. Okay, so you could do something like this, you know, with some cute stickers here or whatnot. You could even that up and pop it in you know, this way and then leave the bottom, and then possibilities are endless. It's, you know, up to your imagination. So let me get to going on gluing my papers in, and I'll meet you back here in just a few minutes. Okay, I put all my pattern paper on and my mats and my plain cardstock inside, and we'll go through that in a second. I just want to show you how we measure our last gusset piece. So we're going to fold this close, and I put a bunch of photos in here, like however many you think are going to go in the book, and close it up and lift it all the way to the end here. And I marked it with a pencil on the inside. Whoops, you can't see that. I marked it right where this lines up to. Then I open this up, take all my photos out, and then I go over to my scoreboard again, and just pretend I didn't score that yet. And we're gonna take a look and see where that line takes us to. We'll go to any inch mark here, and that takes us about an inch and a quarter, maybe a little less. So let's be on the safe side in case we put more photos than we think. Well, let's go to an inch and a quarter. So you flip your book over because you want that bump on the inside. Line that last score line that you made up to any inch mark, and I'm using 8 because it just kind of fits in there. And then at 9 1/4, we just score that a couple times, and then flip that over, fold that score line, and then press it in nice. And there we're all set with our closure. So there you have your closure for your book. And now what we're going to do is cut some paper for that section. So you already know that our book is 6 1/4 inches tall. So we don't have to cut that because these are all 6 inches. So each measurement needs to be a 1/4 inch less. So this measures, I measured it earlier, is about almost 3 1/2. And here we are. It measures about 3 1/2 by 6 1/4. So we're going to subtract a 1/4 inch from each measurement. So that makes that piece 3 1/4 by 6 inches. So that's what size piece we need for here and the back of that. So let's cut that. And what paper do we want on the front? Gosh, it's hard to decide, you know. I thought I wanted this one. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. We'll go with that, and then on the inside we'll go with flowers, I think. So we're gonna cut that piece at 3 1/4 by 6 inches. We can go a hair over 3 1/4 because, like I said, is that gonna work? Let's see. Yep, perfect fit. And then we'll cut one more. We're gonna pick, what are we gonna pick for flowers? I think I'm gonna pick the blue, first blue piece that we started with, which I don't have any. Let's see if I can find that piece. The back of the trees, but I think we used all that up. Yeah, we did. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna put the flowers inside. 3 1/2, and we don't have to cut the other measurement because again, it is the right measurement. It's already 6 inches, so we don't need to cut that. So that's gonna go, whoop, that's gonna go here. Whoops. Obviously, I missed the mark on that one. How did I do that? what did I say? 3 1/4, not 3 1/2. 3 1/4. See if you make a boo-boo, go back to the trimmer, fix it, if you can. So here we go. Okay, so for the spines, your 2 spines here are 1 inch. So we need a 3/4 inch piece for the spines. And I'm gonna use for all of those, got a peek at the back, I'm gonna use this one. So I need 4 pieces for the spine at 3/4 of an inch. For the 1 inch spine. Oh my goodness, that's the wrong that's the wrong one. Goes here. That will fit perfectly. So 4 of those. So for this section it was 1 1/4 inch. And remember what I said, we have to subtract 1/4 inch. So we're gonna use the gold. Nope, we cut that for that. And we don't want to cut something we already cut. Okay. Let's go with the pretty blue one here. There, I just found it. So what we need for that section, I said it was 1 1/4 inch. Subtract 1/4 inch, we need 1 inch. So you need 2 at 1 inch. Oops. See if that fits. Dry fit your pieces, guys. You know, go ahead and pop them in there and see if they fit before you glue, because you hate to get glue on there and find out that it's the wrong measurement. All right, let's glue these in quickly, and then I'll do the rest off camera. Only because, you know, I feel like it's boring watching me glue all these little strips on. And you could erase that pencil line that you put in. Unless you made it super light, you can't see it. And I try not to put a ton of glue on these pieces here. This is really good glue, so. Oops. So you got some wiggle room too. You need to scooch it around. And let's turn that over and do the other side. And I try to make sure that, you know, I'm flat when I put my pieces wherever they're going. Just makes it easier to get them straight and they're not on an angle or something. Okay, gluing that up. And then even that up, side to side, top to bottom. Give it a nice press. And then our spine piece. All right, fits. I've done that where I've glued a piece in, or put a glue on a piece to try to put it in, and it's wrong, so then I have to start over. And if you're running out of paper, it's not a good plan. So dry fit first. There we go. All right, I'll be back once I finish gluing the spines on, and we'll put the magnet on together. All right, let's put that magnet on now. We're all set with all our decorating for now. You take a positive and a negative, put them together, open your cover up, your closing flap, and then take the paper off of one section, find the center, and we're guesstimating today at about 1/2 inch and maybe 1/4 inch, I don't know. Push it down, press it in really good. You could put some glue on that as well. These are stickers, so I haven't had trouble with them coming off. So peel off that piece, and then make sure you're at a 90-degree here when you press that one in. Make sure your top and bottom are even, and then give that a press. And there you're all set. It's all finished now. Let's take a little walk through here, have a look and see what's going on. And so here are my pattern papers on the covers of the Waterfalls, and a couple of little stickers. Trying to keep it light because, you know, the photos are going to tell the story. So even if I was, you know, to cut, whoops, I could put that one here, cut the photo down just slightly. They're 4x6 photos, so I cut the ends off a little bit. You could very well put in, you know, each page could hold a photo. You could put one here and one here with stickers, and there are so many stickers here. Or you can make your own stamped on a piece of cardstock. Whatever works for you, but there's just so many things you could put in here. And my pattern paper, or not my pattern paper, but my plain cardstock, is all I had is that manila color. So it's what went in here, and I only covered one page in this book, one on each page, but doesn't mean you can't put a photo here with a mat behind it if you wanted to. Or you can cover all your pages. I think I used 9 matte pieces that were 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. So let's just take a little peek in that, see what that looks like. I mean, they're all the same. And then that back page too is still a page to put a photo in, and stickers and fun things like that if you wanted to. And we just saw that one, so let's go back to this one, and this little sticker full of memories. And then again, I only put one piece on each page, each double page. And that, oops, I missed that one. Okay, so we'll do that one later. So that's the Mini Mega Folio. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you try to make this folio. I hope everything was clear enough for you to understand. And if you have any questions about anything, please let me know in the comment section. Leave your comments in the comment section, whether you need help or you don't. I mean, if you want to say hi or whatever, just, you know, leave a comment for me. And give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I need you guys, and I appreciate you, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope this is helpful to you. I'm leaving you with my page of notes and measurements for everything, and please watch the video for the instructions on how to put this together. Screenshot this, and have a great day.